Who should older adults live with? And have you ever paused to consider how that choice might touch not just your heart, but your health and even how long you live? This decision goes far beyond saving a few dollars or simply having someone around. It's about something deeper, feeling understood, staying comfortable, and being surrounded by people who help you feel like you. Life takes on a different rhythm after 70. The pace slows. Your energy shifts. You begin to see more clearly what matters and what doesn't. Suddenly, something as ordinary as who's sitting across from you at breakfast starts to feel like one of life's most meaningful choices. Some folks truly enjoy the quiet of living alone. Others thrive when someone is nearby, even if it's just for shared laughter, warm meals, or a hand reaching up to the top shelf. So the real question isn't just whether to live with someone. It's who helps your days feel more supported, more manageable, and more full of heart. In this video, we'll gently walk through 6 types of people older adults often share a home with, and what makes those arrangements feel good and grounded. These aren't just logistical decisions. They're tender, human ones that shape how safe you feel, how much freedom you hold onto, and how connected you stay to the world around you. I hope you'll stay with me through the end, because you might uncover a new possibility, a living situation that brings not just peace for today, but comfort for the road ahead. Let's begin. Number 1, a caring adult child who respects your independence. For many older adults, moving in with a grown son or daughter can feel like the natural next step, especially if health or mobility are becoming more of a concern. And when that relationship rests on mutual love, trust, and clear understanding, it can blossom into something beautiful. Help is always nearby. No more worrying about groceries, doctor appointments, or too many quiet afternoons alone. But there's a word that really matters here: respect. Too often, older parents move in and slowly feel like they're fading into the background. Their routines are changed. Their voices softened. And before long, they feel less like family and more like a visitor. That's why the most important ingredient isn't blood, it's balance. If you have a child who still sees you as wise and capable, who asks for your thoughts, and who gives you space while also being present, that can be a real gift. You'll rest easier knowing someone's there if you feel unwell or have a fall. But just as importantly, you'll still feel like yourself. I remember hearing about Emma, 78, who moved in with her daughter after she broke her hip. She said, "At first, I worried I'd disappear. But my daughter asked me where I wanted my things. She asked what time I liked my tea. She gave me a house key and said, 'This is your home, too.' That changed everything." Of course, it's not always smooth. Sometimes personalities clash. Sometimes the space just doesn't fit. But when your child is patient, kind, and truly there to support, not to control you, it can become something truly special. A home where you feel safe and seen. And that's the kind of home no amount of money can buy. Number 2, a dependable sibling or close relative with shared history. There's something special about sharing your space with someone from your own generation. Someone who doesn't need you to explain your stories because they've lived through the same chapters. They remember the same presidents, watched the same TV shows, grew up with the same family rhythms and holiday traditions. That kind of shared history brings a quiet, natural ease, a sense that you don't have to explain or perform. You can just be. I once met 2 sisters, Daniel and Jennifer, 80 and 83 years old, who had each lost their spouses. Rather than go separate ways, they decided to live together again, just like they had in their 20s. Daniel laughed and said, "We argue over silly things, like the thermostat. But at the end of the day, no one knows me like she does." This kind of arrangement isn't about leaning on each other because you have to. It's about companionship. Yes, it helps with the daily stuff, meals, rides, reminders, but more than anything, it soothes that quiet ache of being unseen or misunderstood. It reminds you that you still belong to someone. That there's still a person in this world who gets you, not as someone fragile or needy, but as the whole person you've always been. And for many older adults, that feeling, being emotionally known, sharing stories, laughter, even silence with someone who understands, is worth more than any luxury condo or high-end retirement plan. If you're still watching this and feeling a connection to what we're talking about, leave a comment with the number 2 below so I know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I truly encourage you to do so. Your support helps us keep making these heartfelt videos just for you. Now, let's continue. Number 3, a fellow senior or trusted friend as a roommate. There's a growing number of older adults choosing a third path, neither living alone nor moving in with family. Instead, they're teaming up with old friends, former colleagues, or simply fellow seniors who want the same thing, connection without obligation. These aren't caregiving relationships. They're community ones. Two people sharing a home, splitting costs, trading stories, each still living their own life but choosing to do it under the same roof. For those who've outlived a spouse or never married, this can bring real comfort. It keeps the house from falling too quiet. It brings laughter back to the kitchen. And it allows both people to age with dignity, side by side, not wrapped up in each other, but quietly present. There's something beautifully human about having someone to say good morning to, even if the rest of the day is your own. Just that little point of contact, that knowledge that another soul is nearby, can be the difference between loneliness and steadiness. I think of William and John, two friends who met at a local senior center. After each had a health scare, they decided to move in together. William said, "We split groceries, take turns making the coffee, and leave each other alone when we need it. It's not complicated, it's just comfortable." Of course, it takes the right match. Shared expectations around noise, cleanliness, and boundaries are key. But when it works, the benefits reach far beyond saving money. You end up building something that feels like purpose, not by caregiving, but by simply being there. Day in and day out. And in a world where too many older adults feel like they're fading into the background, that gentle, steady presence can feel like medicine. It reminds you, you still matter. You're still part of something. Your voice, your laughter, your life, they still echo in someone else's world. And sometimes, that's exactly what the heart needs most. Number 4, a younger relative or helper who offers mutual support. Sometimes, the right person to share your home with is someone a generation, or even two, younger. Someone who brings a bit of energy, a helping hand, and a fresh way of seeing the world. This could be a grandchild, a niece or nephew, or even a younger adult who isn't related by blood, but is connected by mutual respect and understanding. What makes this kind of living arrangement work isn't age, it's agreement. A shared sense that both of you have something meaningful to offer. In many cases, the younger person gets a break on rent or even a free place to stay in exchange for help with errands, driving, or keeping the house in order. And in return, the older adult gains the chance to remain in their own home, with more ease, more safety, and more peace of mind. There's also something truly uplifting about being around younger energy. Their stories, their music, the rhythm of their days, it doesn't ask you to keep up. It just invites you to witness life from another angle. And sometimes, that little shift is all it takes to brighten a routine that started to feel a little too quiet. I remember Rebecca, 82, who opened her home to her grandson's friend, Robert. He was 26, working nights and saving up for school. He helped with the groceries, shoveled the sidewalk, and fixed the Wi-Fi when it went down. Rebecca said, "He doesn't hover, and I don't nag. We just exist kindly next to each other." And that's really the heart of it. When done thoughtfully, with clear boundaries and open communication, this kind of intergenerational living becomes something special. You share stories. You exchange life skills. You build a home not out of need or duty, but out of generosity. A space where both people feel useful, appreciated, and understood. Of course, trust is essential. Expectations should be discussed and written out clearly. But when done right, this isn't just about receiving help, it's about giving something in return: wisdom, presence, perspective. And that's something no paycheck can replace. If you're still here watching and connecting with these ideas, please comment the number 4 below so I know you're with us. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll do so and turn on the bell. We'd love to keep bringing you thoughtful content like this. Now, let's keep going. Number 5, a professional living caregiver for daily assistance and peace of mind. There may come a time in life when the basics, like cooking, bathing, or remembering medications, start to feel heavier than they used to. Friends and family may try to help, but they're not always trained, available, or able to offer the kind of consistent care that's needed. That's where a professional living caregiver can make all the difference. Not just by helping with the day-to-day, but by offering the comfort of experience and quiet confidence. These caregivers aren't just there to assist, they're trained to notice the little things, early signs of illness, safer ways to move around the house, routines that help keep life steady. For many older adults, having someone nearby who truly knows what they're doing brings a kind of calm that even the most loving family member can't always offer. But perhaps the most overlooked part of this arrangement is the relationship that can form. When there's consistency, kindness, and mutual respect, it can grow into something quietly beautiful, a rhythm of daily life that feels dignified, not dependent. I think of Brian, 84, who resisted hiring a caregiver for years. But after a few health scares, he brought in Emily, a woman in her 50s. 2 months later, he said to me, "She doesn't just remind me to take my pills. She listens. She treats me like a person, not a checklist." That meant the world to him. Of course, this kind of arrangement takes planning. There are costs to consider, support agencies to explore, and background checks to complete. All of that matters. But for those living with chronic health issues or limited mobility, having a trained professional in the home can do more than just ease the daily load. It can help you avoid unnecessary trips to the emergency room, allow you to remain in the comfort of your own home longer, and give your loved ones a peace of mind they may not have even realized they were missing. And here's the Robert, it's not a loss of independence. It's simply a new way of looking at independence. Because sometimes the strongest, wisest decision isn't doing it all on your own. It's choosing to bring someone in who can help you do things better, with skill, with heart, and with deep respect for your needs, your preferences, and your right to feel secure exactly where you are. Number 6, a compatible person who honors your rhythm, not just your needs. At the heart of every peaceful living arrangement is one quiet Robert. The best person to live with might not be the one you expect. It's not always family. It's not just someone who can carry the groceries or drive you to the doctor. It's someone who helps you feel at home, in your home. Do they give you space when you need quiet? Do they talk to you as an equal? Do they allow you to be yourself, or do you find yourself constantly adjusting just to keep the peace? Living with someone later in life isn't only about shared meals or split bills. It's about shared mornings, shared moods, shared energy. It's about how your rhythms blend, or don't. Because when someone doesn't respect your rhythm, whether that's how you sleep, how you pray, or how you like your afternoons, you begin to feel it. Not all at once, but like a slow unraveling of comfort. But when someone does respect it, everything softens. The days breathe easier. The air in the home feels lighter. You laugh more. You rest more deeply. And most of all, you feel like this home, your home, still belongs to you. I once spoke to a gentleman named Matthew, 79. He shared his house with a neighbor's daughter, a woman in her early 40s. She had her own room, helped with cooking and groceries. But what stood out most to him wasn't what she did. It was how she was. "She knows I like quiet at breakfast," he said. "She doesn't talk over my baseball games. And when I nap, she locks the door and leaves me be. That's how I know I can trust her." That's the kind of harmony that isn't built on family ties or roles, it's built on temperament. So whether you're considering a child, a cousin, an old friend, or someone entirely unexpected, remember this. The right person isn't the one who needs you to explain your preferences every day. It's the one who notices, who adjusts, who doesn't just take care of you, but makes you feel deeply understood. If you're still with me and these reflections are speaking to you, comment number 6 below. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I invite you to do so and turn on the bell so we can keep bringing you thoughtful, helpful content that honors where you are in life. Now, let's bring it all together. Final thoughts. By now, you've seen just how many different paths there are when it comes to deciding who to live with later in life. And maybe, somewhere along the way, you've realized something meaningful: there's no single answer that fits everyone. The best living arrangement isn't always the most obvious one. It's the one where you feel respected, where your daily needs are met, but so is your sense of identity, your dignity, your rhythm. Some people thrive in a home full of generations, kids, grandkids, lively conversations. Others find peace living with an old friend or a thoughtful roommate. Still others feel safest and most themselves with a steady, quiet presence nearby. Someone who knows when to help and when to simply be there. What matters most isn't the title of the person you live with. It's the quality of the relationship you share. So take your time. Reflect. Think about your values, your energy, your boundaries. Then think about who in your life complements those things rather than challenges them. Because home, at this stage in life, isn't just a place, it's a feeling. And the right person to share it with is someone who helps that feeling grow. Because home is more than just four walls. It's that deep sigh you breathe the moment you walk through the door. The quiet peace that tells you, you're safe, you're seen, and you can exhale. And if no one in your current circle feels quite right to share that space with, don't lose heart. There are more possibilities now than ever before. From senior co-housing communities and trusted roommate matching programs, to companion services and intergenerational housing networks, there's a world of new options, just waiting to be explored. The key is staying open, curious, honest about what you truly need, and brave enough to ask for it. Because a good living arrangement after 70 isn't about giving up your freedom. It's about protecting it, by surrounding yourself with the kind of steady, thoughtful support that helps you hold on to it longer. You deserve a space that feels like yours. You deserve relationships that feel comforting and solid. And above all, you deserve to feel at home, in every sense of the word. Thank you so much for spending this time with us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you took away from this video and how you might use it in your own life. Your voice matters. Your thoughts encourage us and guide the conversations we create. And if you found this video helpful, please like it, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear these words. Your support truly helps us continue making content that informs, comforts, and uplifts. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.